What's good, man? Y'all come on off here. I'm about to go live to the press conference, man. The Monday morning press conference with Manny Diaz. Oh, there's the depth chart. They just sent that out. What's going on, man? Y'all come on here, man. We about to talk about everything from Bitcoin to ball. Early Monday morning in this market, man. We getting money in this market also, man. Shout out to Lucid, EV cars and all that stuff eating this morning. Let me see. Let's get IOD squad. I'll post that link up in the top of the YouTube.
One of your favorite two-part questions for you. So the first part is if you could grade sort of your defense's play overall this year, how close or far away is the defense from putting together the type of whole game you'd expect from it? And then the second part's a little quicker. If you could just sort of update the status of Gurvan and BJ Jennings, since I saw they weren't on the depth chart. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Gurvan and BJ, kind of like we've had other guys. Older guys, it's really tough when you're an older guy and your role isn't what you think it should be. So like some of the other ones we've had, I mean, they'll both move on and not be with us here the rest of the way. So it's next man up for in both those spots. I think, I'm not the one that puts grades in, when you're in the middle of the season, but I think what's been very obvious, it was pretty evident on Saturday. The word of the year has been consistency on defense. Georgia Tech ran for 134 yards, 135 yards, and they ran 32 times for 135 yards. They had 4 runs for 136 yards, which means they had 28 runs for -1 yards, and that's not counting sacks. When we do things right, it really looks good. After we went for it on 4th down, didn't get it, with about 8 minutes left in the third quarter, 9 minutes left in the third quarter.
He just said Jennings.
I don't think they had 20 yards of offense after that. And that's
Jennings
those
and
are the
Hall
signs of what a dominant defense can be. But we have made our share of mistakes, and you can't be a great defense.
Yeah, I got a question for Manny, man.
These 4 plays, and that's kind of been our bug all year. It's been frustrating. We've been working like crazy to get it corrected. Our players don't lose confidence because they see when it's right, it's really, really right. And so what we're still searching for is our best performance, on defense. And it's never going to be perfect, but I think as a coach, that's what you're always striving to do, is to find a way to get these guys collectively to play their best game. And obviously we're not there yet.
Next, we'll go to Manny Navarro. Manny, go ahead.
Hey, Manny. So obviously,
the
loss of Gurvan and Bradley, particularly, puts more young guys in position to play. I know Rogoni played a few snaps this last game. Curious where the linebacker development is. Obviously, we ask you that every week. Sam Brooks and Avery Huff and Tariq Austin Cave. Just are they coming along at any point where we might see them here down the stretch?
Right.
Yeah, I think, and I would add Tyler Johnson. Is that mix? I think Tyler. I think Johnson and Troutman, both guys we signed this year's class, we really like.
I got a question, man. Y'all ask Manny.
They're going to have a chance more and more.
Send a question, dog. What y'all want to ask?
Right now, will linebacker. Wayne and Steve played excellent on Saturday. Jontre played very well behind him. And Corey Flagg played really well in the second half of the game. Rigoni went in there and actually Rigoni made some really nice plays. The other guys, look, we're and I'll give you a great example. You're prepping guys, you're getting guys ready to play, you're getting guys going. We do a walkthrough the day before the game. Here's the thing: it's when you mention development, the whole team sees development. So we say, okay, hey, we're the first two blitzes and walkthrough, and you got a guy that he's got to run through A gap and he runs through B gap, and then the second play you got to run through B gap and he runs through C. Well, that's not a coaching decision. The players are going to look at you and say, Coach, you can't put that guy in the game, and that's part of just the process, and you got to be able to know what to do. There are positions that are
talking about cuff and cage,
defensive end,
huff and cage,
corner, spots like that. Those are usually one-on-one matchup, freak positions. They go cover that guy man-to-man. Hey, go beat that guy in pass rush. The guys in the middle of the field, they got to learn how to fit a piece of the puzzle. And it's not complicated. We've had 3 freshmen start. I'm not, it doesn't matter how old you are. But you got to be able to handle the job, because the other guys are going to say, hey, coach, get this guy out of here because he doesn't know where to go. So as a coach, you never stop the development, because you continue to push, you continue to strive, try to find new ways to teach. Try to make it as simple as humanly possible. I mean, we're playing with 3 true freshman safeties. I mean, I don't know when that's ever happened in college football before, and we're doing it. And there's no excuses because they're freshmen, and T-Rob's doing a great job of getting those guys game ready. But it's a process, and the guys when they become comfortable with their assignments, that happens at different times, and that's where we're at with the backers, and we go from there.
Thanks.
Next, we'll go to Barry Jackson. Barry, go ahead.
Manny, I know you're focused on FSU this week, but just one big picture question in your CEO role. Do you think it's likely you all will probably need to add transfer help at linebacker or anywhere in your front 7 this offseason, just from a numbers standpoint, maybe more impact players defensively with the anticipation you'll lose some guys in your front 7? I was going to ask you how the process works. Do you want to make sure that you see tape yourself and study tape for a few hours, an hour or so, of every player you might target in the transfer portal? I imagine it stopped at your desk ultimately, right?
That's a good question.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, you're going to, with where we're at now, you're going to have to look at who's available, and does this person add value to our team? And you're never going to turn down a great player. And yes, I'm of course involved in the evaluation process. I think the biggest trick now in the evaluation process isn't just what they do on tape. You got to do a lot of research. We've been pretty good at the transfer thing here, because we found out the backstories of, what is this guy transferring for? Because we've given these kids an easy way out at times, and they may not always be transferring for the right reasons. And the guys we brought in here, whether it's Osborne or Rambo or DeAndre or whoever, I mean, the list is pretty extensive. We felt that they've been guys that have been leading for the right reason, and when they came here, they performed. In my mind, they've all performed pretty well. We had guys that we were going to add last year that we wanted to add, and their film backed up the fact that they added. But then you talk to people around them, you talk to people at the stops that they've been at, and there are red flags that come out. And if you bring those red flags in your locker room, it ain't going to go well. So to me, you're not recruiting a highlight, you're recruiting a person. And you got to be very careful, because when you bring a person in, first of all, anytime you bring a transfer in, the guys in your locker room, they have to say, thank God that guy's there. And I think we've been pretty good at that. I think when the transfers are coming in, I think our players understand
That's a good question,
why
John.
these guys are coming to our locker room, because team morale is everything. If you bring in a guy and the guy is a problem on your team, you've got 2 issues now. Because number one, you just recruited a problem in your locker room, and now your locker room's a problem because you got a lot of guys who are doing things the right way, and you just brought in a disruptive force. So it's going to be, it's funny you just mentioned, I was talking to a couple of coaches today, it's going to be trickier now than ever, because the amount of kids that are going to be in there this year is going to smash every record by a lot. And it's going to be really, really hard to do your homework and research to make sure. I mean, think about what the NFL does, right? I mean, think about the background checks that they go through at the combine and on free agency, and all the different ways that they have to kick the tires on someone they get in, and they probably get it wrong half the time, right, through the draft process. So it's going to be a massive it's going to be a massive undertaking for everybody in college football going forward with what we've allocated, given these players in terms of the free one-time transfer.
Next, we'll go to Tim Reynolds. Tim, go ahead.
Coach Hayes. Shout out
Thanks,
Coach Hayes,
brother.
man.
Manny, this is obviously the first time Miami and FSU have played since Coach Bowden and Howard passed.
Coach Hayes' mama look
You
like Tim
talked
Rivers.
before about the rivalry and obviously your ties there and all that. I get all that, but these programs, for as much as the outside says one hates the other and vice versa, they've kind of needed each other, throughout the last 40 years or so. How accurate would you say that kind of is? And just broadly, I mean, can you just talk about maybe the respect level that kind of gets lost during hate week that probably these programs have and have had for one another?
Tim, what fun is that to talk about, respect?
I know.
No, I think obviously, I think you're onto something. Yes, I've always felt like there has been a competitive respect between the programs. I think not just because of the nature of the games and the great games through the years and how somebody winning a game or losing a game or a field goal going just 6 inches to the right determined maybe who won the national championship that year. But let's be honest, I think where both programs were in the 80s and the relation to the University of Florida, where there was either Florida not playing Miami or the way that Florida kind of would look down at Florida State, just historically through the history of the Florida of the state from when Florida State was first a school in the middle part of that century. So I think the fact that both programs came of age at the same time, they both grew at the same time, and you couldn't help but grow up under the shadow of the University of Florida, and the Florida being on probation in the mid '80s had a lot to do with some of the recruiting successes that Coach Bowden's first grade class really was helped by the fact that Florida was gone on probation and Miami was kind of doing their thing with Schnellenberger and the state of Miami and then Coach Johnson coming in here. So I think the fact that they rose up together and then played such amazing games and continued, no matter what league that they were in, to be committed to playing one another, no matter what. I mean, you mentioned Coach Bowden. I mean, how many national championships that he might have had they either not played Miami or a kid gone a little bit one side of the post or the other. So I think that respect has always been there. But obviously when the ball kicks off, it's going to be as an intensely fought game as we'll play all year.
One quick follow. Obviously the game has changed quite a bit, but is there like a taproot philosophy or whatever that you took from Coach Bowden and kind of apply it to your everyday? Thank you.
Ask him about Zoe Highsmith on the sideline.
In relation to this game, I'm sorry, or just in
No, just broadly. I mean, the game has changed. Like, I mean, it's stuff that worked in '91 wouldn't work in 2021. I get that, but I'm just saying, like, the way he handled people, the way he handled the team. Are there things that you learned from him that you still apply in your game?
Absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing we do is we start every staff meeting with a devotional, and that we did that when Mark Rick was here because Mark did it with working with Coach Bowden, and every coach on the staff takes a turn, and it can be religious, doesn't have to be religious, it can be motivational, but it gives a chance. We've got a lot of great men in our staff room, and it gives them a chance to share something on their heart. Gives them a chance to, like Coach Bowden, to put something, Miami football is big and whatever, but God is bigger, and to have somebody that's we can put our, him, the capital H, in charge of our program
They took
first.
kickoffs out the end zone last week.
And seek wisdom and guidance there, because that's what Coach Bowden did.
Sigma.
I mean, Coach Bowden, was learning a guy who had won so much, but kept his ego in check because he knew who really was in charge of his life. So, we've tried to keep that the same way here.
And next we'll go to David Lake. David, go ahead.
Okay, we'll see.
Hey, Coach, I want to ask you a big picture recruiting question.
I'm gonna write this question.
In a lot of ways, recruiting success is a reflection of on-field success, right? You guys have won 3 straight games now, but I'm curious, if the actions of your athletic director prior to this 3-game winning streak has made it easy for teams to still negative recruit you. As the recruiting world's pretty cutthroat. I'm just curious if it's hard to recruit in these times, even with a 3-game winning streak.
I don't think it really even matters anymore.
I would imagine
We're missing so many people now, bro. Listen, I don't even think they think about red shirts anymore, bro.
I'm sure our players are getting peppered with those type things. But what we can control right now is winning a game, and that's what we did against NC State and then Pitt and then Georgia Tech. And, the thing about college football is that it is, where you stand today is temporary, and you can sort of, we have a chance of what we felt like this whole season. We had a chance to write our own story. And no matter what it looked like coming out of the Virginia game or the Carolina game, and And so that's what we do. And I think eventually recruits will see that. I mean, I do think if I was watching his play and I was watching some of the young players that are on our team, you kidding me? You know, if I played offense, I'd want to play around with these guys. You know what I mean? And, you know, whether it's Tyler or Jake, you know, Jalen, some of the young wide receivers that we have, I'd want to go play for those guys. On offense line, I want to go block for those guys. Then on defense, yeah, sure. I mean, I want to be in a secondary with James and Cam and Avante. I want to play defense, you know, next to LT and those guys up front that we have. And I'm just listening to a few of them, and there's a bunch more. So, you know, the players see what's real, you know, or, you know, it's a strange time for recruiting. I think some of the things that go into their decision process is a little bit different now than what it was then. They have a lot shorter memory.
What did he say about Sam Brooks? I don't hear him say anything.
The recruits of this day and age. And I keep saying this, and I'll kind of shut up on this topic. This ain't gonna be a class like any other. It's just not. It's just. I mean, y'all saw the thing today.
I think Rashad brought one out the end zone.
I mean, we are going.
I think two of them in the not in Georgia Tech game, in the game before that.
2.0 or 3.0, but we're going there, and this will be a class unlike any other, because what's about to happen in the portal here in the next 4 weeks, I think, is going to be transformative, and so it's kind of a shame. There's going to be some high school players that are going to be a little bit edged out at times. I don't know how, unless we change the initial scholarship rules.
How long have I been saying that?
We don't have enough spots to gem in all the people. There's going to be players in the portal that are going to be left out. There's some really good players in high school. They're going to be left out. They're going to go to a lower level team and have great careers there because
he's saying it,
because there's only so many seats available with the initial scholarships that everybody has to give out right now.
He's saying exactly.
Do you think those actions showed like a lack of understanding how everything impacts recruiting?
Said exactly what I've just been
or
saying.
Do you think they just didn't count on you winning 3 straight games?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. It's not for me to judge, you know. And like I said, that's now been, you know, 3 weeks ago, and you know, we have to go beat Florida State this week because it's Miami, Florida State, and
just like old nickel.
You know,
can't even give me credit for it.
Didn't go in, or you know, we don't get a pass batted down against them. It's Florida State. We got to go beat these guys.
Next, we'll go to Tom D'Angelo. Tom, go ahead.
Thanks, Connor. Hey, Manny, you mentioned Jordan Travis. Both these programs kind of resembled each other this year in that you both came out of the early season issues and early season
funk. He says what's about to happen is about to be what?
Got established.
So that means we about to bring it up.
State's lost 2, but they were
number one transfer portal.
A few minutes to go up there.
Number one transfer portal recruiting team in the nation.
Talk about that and how both these teams were boosted, invigorated, whatever, by these quarterbacks, and then the obvious how important that position was to get a leader, get a guy that both teams seem to be trusting now.
Yeah, well, I see the similarity, and I'm not sure that this isn't going to be more of a common theme in college football. You know, we're so used to the way that things have always been, you know, and we love our preseason polls, and we love kind of looking at the schedule and seeing how it's all going to sort out. And in the era of transfers and in the era of kind of how rosters can kind of change over so quickly, teams are going to find their identity through the course of the year, some for the better and some for the worse. With Florida State, it's obvious for the better. I mean, you look at what they've done defensively.
Man, I think they're getting so many calls of players that want to come back home.
They played a year ago, and they were playing really, really hard, and they're playing very, very
high caliber players. That he's like, man, whatever.
Sometimes that's not going to happen, you know, right there at week 1. You know, finding your identity on offense. You know, who the
DJ, I agree.
Those type of things. I mean, look at us this year. Yeah, first 3 games we knew we had Derek, but Derek's people. It's crazy that he still was grinding off of a insane turnaround recovery from a major knee surgery. So obviously we were not hitting on all cylinders against against App and Michigan State. But man, look at Charleston Rambo now. You know, I mean, sure we felt we knew what we had in September, but this is what happens. You know, guys emerge. We didn't have Jalen in September. Guys emerge. The offensive line has come together as the season's going on. As our season is going on. And I just think that's a thing. You know, it's so easy to overpraise or over criticize during the season. I get it. It makes total sense because we set the expectation of a team should not be here and teams should be here. I think we're still at a record for 42 teams ranked that have lost to unranked teams this year, including in a big number again of top 10 teams that have lost to unranked teams. We had a couple last weekend. So, you know, we have tried to keep our team focused on, let's just get to playing our best ball in November. And I think by every metric, our best game is still out there. I think our players know that. We had some adversity a week ago on Saturday that kept that game a lot closer than it needed to be. Players saw that, and we had the chance to correct that after a win, which is big. And that's what yesterday was about. And this week will be about continuing to find a way to, what we like, keep doing it, and what we don't like, keep trying to fix it.
Next, we go to Kobe Price. Kobe, go ahead.
Hey, Manny, I got two questions for
question
you.
for Manny,
One,
man?
kind of going off the recruiting questions. You keep mentioning how this year is going to be so different because of all the change with college football. As a staff and as a coach, how do you balance, you know, there are going to be some guys, especially the 2019, 2020 guys, who may be guys who have more eligibility just because last year, you know, didn't count against them. So how do you balance going from looking at transfers of maybe we can get a guy more immediately who can help us out, or being a transfer of, you know, this guy's basically a development guy because he's almost, you know, almost like a freshman for us because from the eligibility standpoint.
Well, what's crazy if you ask that, that's kind of how we used to think through it, right? Okay, where's my room at? Do I need an older guy? Do I need, you know, when we brought in KJ Osborne, you know, we had a bunch of young wideouts. We needed an old head that could kind of set the tone, how to work, whatever. But here's the thing now that you don't know, and you still don't know, and no one knows, is normally you'd say, okay, hey, we're graduating one, this guy might go pro, you've got these guys that are all coming back. Well, now you may have three of those guys that go in the portal themselves, right? So it's so hard because it's all happening in real time, and signing day is like 6 weeks away. And we have made it so hard on ourselves to really know what you're replacing. You used to know, oh, I've got a senior running back, I've got a junior, a sophomore, and a freshman, and the junior may or may not, or whatever. I think so. We got three. Let's go get another freshman running back next year out of high school, and we'll be good to go. You know, and I'm just using running back as an example. It's really happening in real time right now, where you've got to be able to replace your roster. They are all, every college football player is a free agent on a one-year contract that they don't even have to see the year through. Right? That is a true statement. That's where we're at right now. So until you know who you're retaining, which is really tough now, because if I'm not playing in year one or year two, I'm not doing my role. I got a lot of incentive to try to go somewhere else. It's easier to try to change my circumstance around me than maybe to change, you know, internally what's going on. That's why I keep saying it's very, so you got to, long-winded answer, but Kobe, the whole point, you've got to be able to make sure you've got some numbers, because if all of a sudden, if you lose your developmental guys, you lose some of your youth. Man, can you replace that with freshmen, or, you know, you got to bring in an older guy? I mean, it's all happening in real time.
And my second one, I know you've touched on this also in recent weeks, but Derek did an interview, I believe, over the weekend or last week, basically confirming that, you know, he's looking to move on from college football as a player. I guess personally or professionally, what has he meant to you, but also what has he meant to the program and, you know, the time he's been here? There.
I think Derek means everything to our program. With where we were at, you know, coming out of 19, and just we needed not just, and I've said not just what he was as a player, even though we should never forget the season he had and the records that he broke and what he did as a quarterback for us a year ago. And after where we've been with just, you know, the ups and downs of some of our quarterback play. But he changed our locker room, the way he worked in the weight room. He inspired everybody.
I got a question. Y'all want to heck,
such great leadership.
Let me see some
Changed the
questions,
room,
man.
you know, so, you know, we're all watching Kyler Van Dyke right now, but Kyler got to watch Derek. He got to watch Derek sit in the meeting every day. We got to watch him take notes, got to watch the way that he worked, got to watch the way that he practiced for a year. And, you know, and Jake's got to watch the same thing. So for those guys now, we have a freshman quarterback coming in, and now they get to sort of pass it down. So, you know, Derek King, the person, you know, really transformed our program from where we were. He was the right person at the right time. And I'm somebody's going to bless themselves with a really, really special player and a special person, you know, with Derek King at the next level.
Next, we'll go to Chris Stock. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, I also have 2 questions. Just in regards to Gurvan and BJ, and you kind of dealt with D and Mark earlier, but just what has this process been like for you as roles change? Like you have touched on earlier, people can be unhappy, but you got, just this whole process of being a head coach that you've kind of dealt with, and as guys, other guys playing well and your guys are getting wins. How would you explain all of that? What it's been like?
It's very difficult. Because as a coach, you want the best for all your guys, and everybody wants to play. And look, young ones that aren't playing yet, they want to play.
They really
Sometimes
appreciate
they
their
don't know.
dog.
They don't know what they don't know because they haven't been in there yet, and they think they know, and a lot of times they don't really know. But the older ones who have played and they're not playing as much, that's really, really hard on them. It's kind of not the way it's supposed to go. So you're always sympathetic to them, but also you have to do what's best for the team. You want everyone to be able to embrace their role, but that's tough. And what you used to be able to do is you would finish out the season, and then who knows what would happen now. But now the players believe that they got incentive to try to get into the portal order. They think that will help their recruiting, and that's of course not proven to be true or not true. And we can decide as a collective to have a transfer window. If we could make the rules any way we want to, we say, okay, hey, listen, we're all going to play the season. Then after the season, we're going to have a time where all the transfers winter in right here, and then it can be transfer season like they do in whether it's like European soccer. But it's really tricky now because you've got that, as I say, you have a trap door available now to your team during the season. So I sympathize with all the kids. What we want them is what's best for all of them. But the game of football, when you got 85 on scholarship and 11 on the field at one time, there's only so many snaps that can go around. And so you got to do what's best for the team. You try to get them to be able to play the role as much as possible, but if they don't want to do it, you wish them the best going forward, and you do what you can to help them with what's next for them.
And then after last game, Nesta spoke that he's 3-0 against Florida State, hoping to go out with a bang. It kind of hinted that maybe he won't be back next year. We didn't get a chance to follow up. Do you expect him, even though he'll have eligibility, or do you think he's going to move on after this year?
Oh, I don't. To me, if he's saying going out with a bang, you probably answer your own question. But we're not at a point yet where we're sitting down really having those conversations with guys. I don't know. The COVID year was given. We do have some guys that I think are making some hints that maybe they will come back. But remember, some people in college football only played like 5 games last year. We played a season, so a lot of our guys who have played all 4 years, I don't think they see themselves as juniors. I think they see themselves as seniors. So, as we normally tend to do with all of our draft eligible guys, we get in November, get on their side of this game, we'll start to sit down, kind of have some conversations, show them some feedback from the league of where they stand, those type of things. So.
We got time for a couple more. We'll go to Ken Segura next. Ken, go ahead.
What's Ken Segura? Man, what's going on?
Manny, I was wondering about the game on Saturday. You guys had a couple big plays, notably the second touchdown and the flea flicker where you seem to take advantage of kind of getting some coverage busts in the secondary. And I'm curious, Georgia Tech has had some challenges there. How much did your coaches, try to take advantage of that as they put the game plan together?
Well, the one was a flea flicker. I mean, that's kind of a trick play, right? I mean, we hit a flea flicker the week before.
Manny having a tough year.
That's just a hard play on a defense. I don't trying to think of the other one that you're talking about.
The 35-yard touchdown into the end zone when it was, I think it was 3rd and 12, 30, like through into the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the scenario of
I think you had trips or
yeah, no, well, okay, no, that's just man coverage. We were going fast. It was man coverage. We just had 2 guys switch, 2 guys that were covering 2 guys, and that just happens. And the guy, by the way, that's running the route is like really, really good. So, Georgia Tech, they know what they're doing on defense. To me, that was an example of getting tempo, getting people, not, with their cleats screwed in the ground on a 3rd down can create a little bit of, pre-snap indecision. You've got 2 guys stacked and then they kind of switch places and, 2 guys hesitate for a second and that's all it takes. And, Todd is great though to Rambo. So, again, that's more of an execution there than I wouldn't classify that as a coverage bust per se.
Thank you.
And we'll wrap up with Susan Miller-Degnan. Susan, go ahead.
Shit on me, dog. You won't let me talk to Manny, dog.
Yeah, can you guys hear me? You've been down most of the Zoom. I haven't heard. Manny, can you hear me?
Susan been down.
Yeah, we can
most
start
of
all
the-
over if you need us to.
Yes, just call me after. Okay, listen, I'm wondering about Jared Harrison Hunt, what his status is. I don't know if he went back and played, but I know he was limping heavily off the field at the end of the second quarter.
Jared looked a lot better yesterday.
How's he doing?
He looked a lot better
Hey,
yesterday
question,
game,
dog.
and we expect him to be available for Saturday.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you, Coach. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you later on this week.
Okay, thank you all.
So
Recording stopped.
breaking news. He said Gurvan Hall is out. I was going to ask him. I want to know the process. What's the process when the kid wants to get in the transfer portal? That's what I was going to ask him. I want to know the process. And breaking news, man. He said Gurvan Hall is out. Jennings is out. Man, how many linebackers do we have left? They just sent out the depth chart. Let's take a look at the depth chart, man. They just sent it to us. Yeah, I want to know what's the process when a kid wants to transfer. But I think we get Lashley. Them this morning also. I think so, at 2:00 maybe. Let's see. Let's see. Get this depth chart in here. I guess that's all the news was broke at on the depth chart. This is where everybody saw the news at. And we'll scroll down as we go. Give me a thumbs up if y'all can see that. What did he say about Cave and Huff? Basically, he said the players don't want them to play because they don't know where to go. That's basically what he said, right? Man, I got to watch this again. Oh, Coach Hayes said, what'd you say, Hayes? You said you fill out a form that takes 2 minutes and you're in the portal. Damn. Out of there. What? So, yeah, man, breaking news. Coach said Gurvan Hall, they just upset at how much they playing. Jennings upset at how much he playing. And they out of there. Now, dog, this changes college football, dog. So you got to get the right staff in, the right leaders in. They can't be weak. They cannot be afraid that players are going to transfer. They you know what I'm saying? You got to hold them to a standard, and they have to set. You got to set. You have to set. First of all, it's accountability, and you have to set the bar. You got to create some leverage on your side. Because you see this man, players getting out of here in the middle of the season. They asked him about Sam Brooks and Cave. I don't even know what he said. Like, I don't even know what he said about Sam Brooks and really Cave. I don't even think he mentioned Sam Brooks. If y'all heard him say something, let me know. But I don't even think he mentioned him. Boy, look at the linebackers, boy. We got 5. Tyler Johnson, Flag. We're going. See, no Sam Brooks. That's what I told y'all. Sam Brooks was. I told y'all, man. Listen, man. I don't just be talking, man. Manny just repeated the same thing I've been saying. High school kids are going to get left out. He just repeated it. High school kids are going to start getting left out. What's about to happen in the transfer portal this year is going to be epic. He just said it. I've been saying that for months now, bro. It's true. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's definitely the truth. I mean, I don't. I want y'all to be able to see. I want y'all to be able to see the. Let's see. I'm gonna make me small. I'm gonna make it big so y'all can see the depth chart. Bro, Sam Brooks is redshirting, I think. Sam Brooks, people told me he gonna sit out this year. Or either he'll be in the portal too, but they're not saying he's in the portal. So maybe he is just sitting out, he redshirted. But dog, it'd be perfect for him to be in. But where's Austin Cave? Like, where's Huff? You got Ryan Ragone and Tyler Johnson. Where's Huff and Cave? What has happened? What they're not on the depth. Why did I know the depth chart don't really matter, but where are they though? Wait, let me put these headphones on. Y'all might hear an echo. Was I echoing? Was I echoing? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Huff don't be knowing the assignment, but dog not even in the. Wait up, man. Am I missing something? Marcus Clark starting at safety. Cam Kitchens. Malik Curtis name done showed up at cornerback, man. We finna get it. Malik Curtis done jumped in the. You feel me? Malik Curtis done jumped in the. You got Isaiah Dunson. Look at the safeties: Cam Kitchen, Avonte Williams, Isaiah Dunson, and James Williams. Malik Curtis done jumped into too deep, dog. Yeah, so I guess we only playing two linebackers. So I mean, you got too deep, Tyler Johnson, but there's no Austin Cave, dog. But we reported, man. Somebody said they saw Austin Cave dad arguing with one of the coaches. I think Packy after the Pittsburgh game, and they was like, man, he out of here. But they're not saying that Austin Cave is out of here. I guess he probably only announcing the players that's making it official. Hayes, man, where you at, bro? Come on, man. Come on. Why don't you come on the show? Let's talk, Hayes. Tell them kids you're going to the bathroom, man. Put the old dude that fell the FCAT in front of the classroom, man. Let him run the classroom for a second, Hayes. Come on here. Let's talk, man. Where you at, hey? Well, Hayes still got his coaching picture up on Google. You see it, that boy cheesing like this, showing all 42. That boy showing them all. Pronunciation, Tyreek Austin Cave. Well, they got Tyreek Austin Cave name in the pronunciation, but I don't see him nowhere on. I don't see him nowhere in the 2 deep. You have to have talent and depth to be able to implement a culture that would demonstrate to the kid that they need to get to another level before they see the field. Yeah. Yeah, call, big dog. I mean, you could have just came on and not did video and just did audio on the computer. That'd be easier. Just come on and don't do video, and I just put your sound up there, and they won't see your face. You know how to do that, dog? No, you're them old school coaches, dog. You may not know how to do that. I don't mind Ryan Ragone because at least he knows what to be. That's messed up, man. That's messed up, man. I mean, why we can't get our talent to do right, dog? Like, why we can't? I got the phone ready to press it with some BS. Y'all want to call in, man? Y'all want to? Yeah. Yeah, Hayes, just come in through the link, dog. I sent it. I sent it already. I'm gonna send it again. Hey, if y'all want to call in, man, 786-405-9499. If y'all want to call in. That's how I saw your coaching picture, boy. You still got the FIU coaching picture on your Google, Hayes. You got the FIU coaching picture on your Google. Hayes' mom looked like Tim Reynolds. You saw Tim Reynolds chilling? That one dude from Tallahassee, man, that man was in his kitchen, man. What are you talking about here? That man was in his kitchen. We might have X coming on here also, dog. Man, some of y'all comments be hilarious, dog. Man, some of y'all dudes are a trip, dog. Some of y'all comments, dog. So listen, man, we're gonna scroll up the depth chart, but man, we got Malik Curtis on the depth chart. We got Isaiah Dunson. Has Isaiah Dunson been in the game? Y'all see Isaiah Dunson out there? Coach Manny Diaz, once again, breaking news. Coach Manny Diaz said Gurvan Hall. Shout out to your Coach Hayes ain't ready yet. Coach still, he got us in his pocket.
What's up, man?
Hey,
what's up?
Listen, boy, you get the old FCAT kid, the 19-year-old, to run a class, and let's talk for 5 minutes, all right?
Hold up, dog. I'm gonna get on you right now, man. First of all, I'm picking on my mama because she do look like Tim Holland.
Like Tim Reynolds, fool.
Hey, my mama do look like Tim Reynolds. Don't be picking on my mama.
Hey, bro, listen.
What's up?
What you think going on down there, bro? Like,
Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Hold on, give me two.
Come through. I'm fact X in this thing. X, what's good? What going on, X?
Ain't nothing chilling. What's up? Dang. Washington head coach just got suspended without pay.
Washington who? Huskies?
Yeah.
He got suspended without pay.
Yeah, he suspended for, I guess, without pay for the game they just played against Arizona State. I'm trying to see what that's about.
You dog, you see what you just saw what's going on, right?
Yeah, I seen the press conference. I mean, basically what we've been saying, like, not go get the kids out of the
Manny says something epic is about to happen in the transfer portal. Y'all say some of the names of the players that come back. Listen, a couple names right off the top of our head. There's a lot of players out there that's not playing. I haven't talked to anybody. I don't know what I'm saying. I haven't talked to anybody. But you got both wide receivers at Alabama. Xavier Williams. You got Thayou Jones-Bell. I'm going to bring Coach Hayes in here. You got the big kid from LSU. He ain't playing. You got the defensive end from St. Thomas at Alabama. He ain't playing. Those are the type of players that may want to come back home.
And them just the local kids. We can't even talk about the kids who out Midwest that want to come down to South Florida or, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that.
All right. So, I mean, the kids that are going to jump in the transfer portal, first place they're going to look is home. The biggest school here is Miami. Hey, what's going on?
I'm good. What's up, fella? What's up, Ed?
You straight?
Hey, what's good?
Yeah, boy. Hey, boy, I got that boy about 22 out there. That boy watching the class right now. That boy stood up. Hey, that boy stood up and say, "I am the captain now."
That boy writing names on the board and all. Keisha with the red hair, not Keisha with the blue hair.
hey, the funny thing about it, dog, get out of class, go across the street, and get him a Black and Mild and a quart, man, and be watching the show. He's 22.
Hey,
sitting in the parking lot with the music playing.
Dog, Hayes, college football has changed, dog. These players are getting out of here in the middle of the season. Malik Curtis is on the depth chart now. How y'all feel about that, bro?
I think what Manny said when he said that about the 1 year free agency and then players could leave during the season, Now that's something I really didn't expect. I thought, maybe kids would hold it out to the end of the season, but them leaving in the middle is cool.
Yeah, it's frustration. Frustration. Hayes, how you feel about that, dog?
No, I put it in the comment, man, when you said it, right? Like Manny Diaz did have a point to say, these kids are getting overlooked. And I don't know if y'all saw I put in the comment section. That's going to actually level the playing field for these group of 5 schools. Because in the next 3 years, you're going to see more upsets from these group of 5 schools, like the Cincinnatis, like the FIU, the FAUs, the SMUs, the Coastal Carolinas, right? Because they can't take everybody, right? So now we're spinning our wheels on old dogs instead of breeding new dogs. And these Power 5 schools, these group of 5 schools are coming to get these young puppies. And they saying, all right, if you don't like it, we're going to get us a dude. We're going to steal us a bunch of T.Y. Hiltons and them kind of cats. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To me, that yeah, but the transferring out of there is also about building relationships, right? It's also about understanding. Like everybody wants right now. But I blame partly players. You fall in love with the logo. But yeah, they got 18 wide receivers on their roster, and you think you go in there and take these top dudes' spot.
Yeah.
You got to know yourself within.
Right.
So, like I said, yeah, my thing is, and then what it is, back to that family crowd, right? Alabama know what time it is. I'm finna just mass recruit, and I know some cats gonna leave. But out of them 18 dudes, I need 5 dudes that's gangsters.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think Streeter said it. I don't know. On one show, Streeter said it where basically you're almost double recruiting kids out of high school now, because if they go to another school, Alabama or Texas, whatever school, and they're not happy by your previous relationship of recruiting them, then they end up coming back. Tyreek Stevenson.
Like a 2-team deal.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
Two-team deal.
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm gonna get half a bag right here. Be like, dog, listen, 2022, I'll be at y'all's, and then I just come holler at y'all in 2023.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest. I think that's a big mistake by the NCAA. The only way I think I like it is if the coach that hires you gets fired, you should have the right to treat it like the transfer portal is today, because that's not who you came in under. You know what I mean? At least you can always go back to the recruiting relationship you had maybe with another school that was maybe running a close second. You know what I'm saying? And you can have that relationship. But here, it's just a free-for-all. And at the end of the day, our kids getting screwed, dog. We call it what we want. Listen, Alabama, LSU, Miami ain't losing no money because kids transferring in and out. You understand what I'm saying? Our kids don't want to get screwed over.
When you saying they're getting screwed, I mean, now they were just getting screwed before, no Vaseline. Now they got a little Vaseline because they have a small option, right? Even though they may not be equipped to make these decisions, but they do have options now, right?
Yeah, they got options on the football field. You got to remember, Streeter, just because you transfer schools, all your credits don't transfer. There's a lot of things that go into this besides the on the field. You know what I mean? So basically, back to what you were saying when I was down there, it's a job, right? So they don't care about you graduating. We already know that. And these kids don't care about graduating because they all think they're going to make it to the league, dog. And nobody's being realistic about the situation. In my personal opinion, think about it. You a fifth-year senior, you finna transfer. Or you're a senior finna transfer, you got 4 years of credit. You mess around to go to Oklahoma, they only take 2 years of it.
Right.
Because you've been taking basket weaving and soil consumption.
Right. Dog, listen, we've been saying this forever, Coach. We were saying that what Manny, it's almost like he just said what we been saying verbatim. High school kids are gonna miss out. What's about to happen in the transfer portal? It's college free agency. Listen, bro, I'm telling y'all right now, start thinking about overseas and how basketball, if you're 16 and you're good enough, you play pro basketball, right?
Yeah.
Start looking at college football that way, okay? Start looking at it like, as you just said, it's open season, it's NFT, it's open season on college football. The NCAA are going to back up, and they're going to back up, and they're going to back up. And, bro, it's going to be open season on college football. And college football is going to be the speed bump to the NFL. And I don't know how they may become the NFL. I don't know how far up it could go. You get that makes sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It do make sense. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm sorry, Eggs. I'm gonna run it because I got to make sure that shirt ain't in there rocking too hard. But listen, no, but on the real though, man, like for real, no. But I'm just saying, but I'm just saying this on the real though. Like, if I'm a Group of 5 school right now, I'm not recruiting. I'm recruiting the same 4 and 5 stars y'all recruit. Because guess what? I remember this at FIU with Nigel Bethel, dog. Nigel Bethel. I kept telling them, keep recruiting that dude. Don't stop because he committed to Miami. Because Miami got him because they could at the time. But if they go, we all know what Nigel Bethel was. But at the end of the day, if they find something that's prettier and better, they're going to take it because it's a business. And that's exactly what happened. I would keep recruiting them dudes. I would recruit them. I don't care until the day the ink dry on the paper, I'm going to keep recruiting you. Because guess what happens? When you're looking for that second home, you're going to remember who that dude that built that relationship with you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And these kids fall in love with these logos. Bro, these kids fall in love with these logos, but these logos don't love them. And I be trying to tell them that. Like, these kids do too many things for social media for their little 15 minutes of fame to say they got a script A on their thing. They got a U on the side of their helmet. They got a tiger on the side of their helmet, whatever the case may be. And they're not actually doing their homework. You go in there, they got 12 quarterbacks in the room. And you ain't talking about, I'm finna be next quarterback. You got your doggone mind.
All right, man, go on back in there and check some papers or something, man.
Yeah,
tell me how many names dog got on the board when you get back in there.
No, all the names, everybody started with their name on the board. Is how many check marks you got after your name. That's how it started off. Anyway, it's all good. Hey, but Street, man, holler at me when y'all finish your show, man. I gotta holler at you about something. Hey, and I'm going to say this since I'm on here. Hold on, I'm going to say this last thing since I'm on here. Hey, man, you better tell the Hurricanes stop trying you, dog. Every time I come on here and you do these shows and you be asking them for questions, dog, they don't never acknowledge you, bro. Like, straight up, I'm being for real about that.
I'm glad you just brought that up. Nah, you know what I think? I think it'd be me. I've been raising my hand late. I just thought about it, though. We missing Lashley. Coach Lashley.
Yeah. You telling me to come on while we supposed to, he said he's coming on that too, though. He said he's coming on that too.
Well, raise your hand. Hey, what is it? Raise your hand if you're sure, dog.
Yeah, I don't really take
but
that
real quick about that red
I
shirt.
I don't take that question stuff serious, man. I could care
listen,
less.
dog, real quick. But listen, dog, real quick about that red shirt. Remember you said, bro, I'm gonna tell you why that red shirt is important. We just burnt Brashard Smith red shirt, dog, for a 1-yard catch for -2 yards.
Yeah.
We burnt his red shirt, dog.
I don't even think it matters that they so depleted Hayes. I think
but it's no.
With
That's
the
bullshit.
I think they all in with the roster.
But Streeter, you know why? Because if you're gonna play me, play me. Don't put me out there for one play. I don't care about no special team kickoff return. If you're gonna play me. Don't burn me out for 13 total plays on the season. You ain't that depleted. What I'm trying to say is I'm not gonna lose a full year of eligibility for 13 total football plays, dog.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. This kid got a total.
But do we think he stay after the third year? Like, if he gets the red shirt sophomore, he'll leave if he's playing. So it's like it really don't matter that much.
It do matter, dog. You know why it matters? Because everybody that's what I'm saying. We instill that in these kids' head. Yeah, you get to leave early. We don't know if Brashard Smith is gonna be that dude or not yet. He may need that year.
We don't.
That's what I'm trying to say. We don't know a lot of things that's gonna happen. I'm just trying to say is at the end of the day.
We are UM fans. We've known over the past years, it's hard to keep kids at UM. When they say, hey, I'm leaving. And that's just it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it's something
not
about
if you build, not if you build a relationship. I don't care who you are. If you build a relationship and you understand, say, bro, are you willing to you lose a year of eligibility for a total of 1 play a game? Let's be real, dog. I mean, I'm just saying that's about
yeah, I know. See what Coach Hayes is saying is I get what he's saying. That's from like the old school of thinking. I think what's going on now is these coaching staffs are looking at it and saying, Brashard Smith might wake up next year and sign that paper and be in the transfer portal. So I don't know how long I'm
but Streeter. But Streeter, here we go. The beauty is the NCAA gave them 4 games to play, right? My thing is, if you're gonna play me, I got 4 games where I don't lose eligibility, where I can have substantial carries. Don't put me out there for 1 play. If you're gonna put me out there for a series of work, and I play my 4 plays, and now come the off season, I'm just saying, hear me out. You come to off season, now I got some film where I can get better off of, and I still got a year worth of eligibility. Because if you think about it, he's still out of 13 total plays, he ain't even played equivalent of 4 games put together.
Yeah.
So it's all about too. Are they counting kickoffs?
No, I'm talking about offensive plays, dog. I mean, I understand the kickoff shit, but that's bull crap. That's feeding. That's giving somebody kibbles and bits and tell them it's fucking steak, dog.
Insane say, coach. He said your class on fire, dog.
Huh? Hey man, they straight, dog. They know what time it is.
Your class on fire. Hey, listen. When I was in elementary school.
Hey, matter of fact, dog. Matter of fact, this ain't even Coach Hayes, dog. Huh?
This who?
Your phone breaking up. What you said?
My phone breaking up. You the only one on the phone, dog. Go on, get back to class, man.
My bad. Now we'll talk over, man. Hit me on AX, man. Good seeing you, dog. I'll be at the crib this weekend too, man.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we'll get up. Shout out to Coach Hayes, man, with all the wind in the background, man. Like he had the fat teacher blowing in his ear or something, man. I don't know what's going on. But I understand what Coach Hayes is saying. But at the same time, man, y'all, we gotta look it forward. Look how these rosters are changing. Look how players are just jumping up, leaving. It's not in the kid's best interest to play him a couple of plays and let his red shirt burn. But also, I don't think Brashad Smith is thinking about being here after 3 years. Even though we understand he's a child and he doesn't understand he may be here after 3 years.
Speedy, we live in South Florida, man. It's not a kid that we know of. When they announce their college decision, what do they automatically say? Oh, I'm taking my talents to such and such for 3 to 4 years. They don't say 4 years. They say 3 to 4 years. So they know I have a good chance of leaving after my junior year. So I don't see, I mean, even if he don't play it, like the red shirt, I don't think the red shirt matters anymore. Like unless you're a developmental player. You know what I'm saying? But if you, hey, next year he'll be a true sophomore. Plays good. Then the following year he'll be a true junior. Plays good. Do we think he comes back? Obviously not. But
right. Oh, did you take a look at the depth chart?
Yeah, man. I see Malik Curtis in there. I see Ray Gone, that middle linebacker. They got Tyler Johnson over there.
Where is Austin Cave? Where are these people at? Where Austin Cave? Where Huff?
I don't know what's up with the Austin Cave situation. Maybe.
What did he say about Austin Cave? He said the players won't let him put him in the game.
I don't know.
He say, man, when they go out there and they be so bad, sometimes the players be like, Coach, we can't win with him. Oh my God, that's just funny. Listen, so these dudes can't learn the playbook, but that's on the person that's teaching them, right?
Yeah, that's on the person that's teaching them.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I understand that some players, we've had players come through here that are dyslexic, can't talk, think backwards, graduate with a degree. If the players can't, I've seen. So here we go. We got Coach Lashley. I've seen players that don't think on the basketball court when I played basketball. I was the point guard. I had to think for them. I get it. X, you was a point guard. You was a quarterback. Some people don't think. I get it. So we're going to get Coach Lashley here, man. X, you want to stay on? You want to stay on or you want to?
I mean, nobody here. He say 2 o'clock, so.
FSU's defensive line seems like it's
I got
one
a
of their
question for Coach
strengths on that
Lashley.
side of the ball. And what impresses you about?
I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. What impresses you about what they've shown on tape, and then if you don't mind, like how do they maybe compare to other D lines you guys have seen this year?
It's a great question. I think first of all, when you pop on the film this year than they were a year ago, they did bring in a lot of transfers. But that defensive front, it may be as good as we've faced. It's definitely the best we've faced probably since Michigan State and Alabama. the Jermaine Johnson, number 11, he's a problem. Fabian, I think he's number 0, and Cooper, who returns. Those guys inside are a problem. Kier Thomas, who came from South Carolina. They're starting 4 really good, but the 4 they got behind them, they have a lot of size. They're playing physical. They're use their hands well. So it's definitely, I think, as good of a unit we've seen at least since Michigan State, and maybe, until we get on the field. And I think they may be twitchier and have a little bit better pass rush to get off. So it starts up front with those guys, but they play well everywhere. They've improved. Jamie Robinson, safety nickel, is a really good player. He's a transfer in, and then they've still got Dent and Brownlee and some other guys on the back end. So I think you can also see a big difference in like their first 4 games of the year and like their last 4 or 5 games. They simplified their scheme. Their guys know what to do. They're playing hard. They're playing with a lot of confidence. And I mean, you can argue the last 3 or 4 or 5 weeks they've been playing as good as any unit in our league. So it's going to be a great challenge.
And along those lines, the last 3, 4, 5 weeks, your O-line has pass protected well, right? I mean, do you feel like it's going to be a good test of where they're at?
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, those guys are playing a lot of confidence and playing well together. But specifically Johnson and Thomas on the edge, but their inside guys, can really get some push too. It's been a while since we've faced this kind of challenge, so it'll be really good to see how our guys respond.
Coach, we'll go next to Manny Navarro from The Athletic. Manny, go ahead.
Hey, Rick, congrats on the last 3 wins here. Curious as far as Rooster. I know he says he can carry the ball, 50 times a game or whatever if need be, but obviously Coach mentioned you need to kind of get some of the backups involved, maybe just to help preserve Rooster's body. Where is Thad Franklin? I know Miami fans are clamoring for him. He's a hometown kid. Is he progressing at all, or maybe you think he's going to get more involved? And then Cody Brown, I know he runs the ball well, but just where do you think he is in his development here?
We want that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Rooster was kind of a warrior for us on Saturday, carrying it over 30 times. That's a lot for any back, and he was tough. And it probably hurts a little bit down there at the stretch on some of that short yardage stuff when he wasn't as fresh as we needed him to be. And, no excuse, we should have picked it up. But we do need Cody and Thad to raise their level to the point that we can try to take some of that off of Jalen. And we have confidence in those 2 guys. So, they're going to be competing this week for that opportunity. And we'll see what other options we have to try to, we want to get the ball to Jalen a lot. It's a good thing, but there is a fine line between overworking him and keeping him fresh and keeping him effective and keeping him healthy. So, for whatever reason, Cody just wasn't seeing it as like he normally does the other day. And so Thad hopped in there and had a couple plays for us. And like I said, you're getting to week 10 now. Cody's played some ball. Thad's been with us now for 3 or 4 months. Those guys, we need them to step up and take some of that load off. And we fully, we're going to give them that opportunity to compete this week to do it. And like I said, we fully expect one of those guys, if not both, to raise their level and be able to do that for us.
Come on, Thad.
Coach, we'll go next to Kobe Price from the Sun Sentinel. Kobe, go ahead.
Hey, Rhett, kind of following up on some earlier questions about the offensive line. Got a couple questions maybe. One, it seemed like when Jalen ran to the right, going towards more Jared Williams signs, it seemed like he had more of explosive plays. I guess, what has Jared brought to the offensive line since, being brought back into the starting unit from both, I guess, a run blocking, but also pass blocking standpoint?
Yeah, Jared's been playing really well. I think, you look at Jared and DJ.
Can y'all hear?
We were on
Give me
that
a
right
thumbs up
side
if
of
it's
the line
good.
for us most of the year last year. And I think both of those guys are playing at a much higher level than they did a year ago at those same spots. And, Jared's long. I mean, Jared's almost 6'7", and he's played a lot of ball. I mean, he's by far the oldest guy here, maybe in college football. And so I think just that experience and his second year and what we're trying to do here, I think he's playing with a lot of confidence. As far as the right and left side of the line, I'm not saying you're wrong. I hadn't noticed that. I mean, it may have just been coincidence. It may have been because
y'all got a question y'all want to ask?
But he's definitely been very consistent for us. These last 4 or 5 weeks.
And obviously this week's Florida State week. What have you learned about this rivalry that you may not have known before? Now that you're on the inside of it over the past, I guess, year and a half.
Yeah, it's everything. I mean, it's the game. Everybody knows their number. I've played them twice before in my career. Once was last year and once was in 2013. Never played him at Doak Campbell. I know that place is going to be an incredible atmosphere for us to go in and try to compete. But just the history of this rivalry, the tradition of this rivalry, and the importance of it to us, to our players, to our school, to our program. We have the countdown clock year-round up for this game for a reason. And, we were really happy to get the win Saturday, but it wasn't 2 minutes afterwards in the locker room we were talking about this game because we have a lot of respect for them. Like I said, you flip the film on yesterday, and it's nothing like you thought you would see. That defensive side of the ball, it's completely different. So we got our hands full.
Coach, we'll go next to Matt Shodell from King Sport. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Rat. So I wanted to ask you, it seems like Georgia Tech was expecting those short yardage runs up the middle. Like I noticed late
you got a question you want to ask?
Tackles right into the gut where you were running. Like, how do you adjust?
Well, ask him about either Bashad or Thad. Like,
I know it can be like, hey, we see the yards, like, let's power him, but like, it didn't work.
What's up with Bashad? Like,
yeah, I think everybody on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 is expecting to, you to run the ball.
Like every time Bashad is in the game on offense, they automatically know he's getting either a sweep or a bubble screen.
It's both taking care of.
So somebody put it in question for him about Bashad.
In a day where you feel like he played pretty well, but there was about 7 plays, 4 3rd and 1 to 4th and 1s that we had.
Ask him when he go more 12.
It's really disappointing for us offensively. On the first one. I believe it was a 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and Tyler misread it. He should have pulled it, thrown it to Will in the flats. We had an RPO, and Will would have got about 8 yards. He hands it off, the end makes the play. Misread. The very next play on 4th and 1, we go for it with Cody in the game, and our right side needed to block down, and we'd have probably got 4 or 5 yards. Our right side blocked out, and we turned and got loose up the middle, and Cody ended up trying to jump over the top. Really, really bad ball by us. And then the last time we were up, I think 33-30, we got the ball, and Rooster stumbled on 2nd down, came up just short. We run a simple inside zone. We got everybody accounted for, and Ja'Kai slips and falls down, and the nose guard makes the play. It wasn't anything they'd done. It's just unfortunate. And then again on 4th and 1, we run a different version of a similar play with a read, and they blitz the guy off the edge, and if Tyler pulls the ball, he's at least getting 20 yards, may score. He didn't pull the ball, and the guy tackled the back. So, it wasn't a schematic issue. It was an execution issue. Now, to your point, can we do some things to maybe take some pressure off those guys and give a little more relief? Yes. In the moment, as a coach, you shouldn't have gone, man, after the first 1 or 2, but that the yard or 2 is there to be had. It's just, and you don't continue to expect that we're not going to do stuff we do on a normal basis. So we got to do some things to keep people off balance. But 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 or a half a yard, we got to be able to pick that up. The whole world needs to be knowing where we're running. We got to be able to get it. So we've really got to improve that because it almost cost us the game the other day.
Coach, we got a couple more hands up. We'll go to Daryl Streeter from Footballville. Daryl, go ahead for Coach Lashley.
Coach, how you doing today?
Hey, what's going on?
Bashard Smith, is there a plan to use Bashard Smith more as a traditional wide receiver or even touches at running back? And I have a follow-up question.
Yeah, and we go into the game with several touch options for Bashard, and like I said, the last few weeks we've been playing really well, and it just never got into the flow. We got him in there the other day. He's kind of a lightning rod for a defense. They know when he's in, there's a good chance he's getting the ball because I think it's a twofold thing. I mean, first of all, I think Bashard Smith is going to be an electric elite player here. We're fired up about him. But when you got Mike Harley and Xavier Restrepo with all the experience and playing at the level they are, who you going to take off the field on a normal, situation to play at receiver. And so that's one thing. The other, he's a true freshman. And there's a lot that goes into it other than just being really talented and really fast. And we've been really pleased with Bashard's progress. I do think, to your point, Bashard has a great skill set. His attitude's been awesome. And whether it's, some situational things like we have been doing, or whether it's getting him in more just on normal downs at receiver or running back or wherever else, we've got a good problem. We've got a lot of good playmakers. You look at Romello Brinson and Jacoby George making plays in the opening drive the other day. But we also have, Charleston Rambo playing at a high level and Keyshawn Smith playing at a high level. So all those guys are playing. It's a good problem. Bashard's a guy that for us does have some explosion. So any opportunity we get to get him going, we'd love to do that.
Okay, and the recent success in the running game, could you talk to us about that, or did you change anything? How did that happen?
No, continuity on the O-line and consistency at running back. It's that simple. And, obviously we're throwing the ball well, so we've got good balance. That always helps. You get better run looks to run the ball into, I think. But again, since I've been here, we've had injuries and all kinds of things at running back. And this is probably the longest stretch with Jalen for about 5 weeks that we feel like we've had, a guy with some explosion that's been healthy and consistency. And same thing with the O-line. I think those guys all deserve a lot of credit. They're playing with a lot of confidence. And, that balance has really helped us. And again, I think we're finding our identity offensively. We've done a better job, spreading the ball around, throwing the ball, and that's obviously helped us run the ball at a better rate, obviously, other than short yardage the other day.
Okay, thanks.
Coach, last one for you. We've got Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hi, Rat. My internet has been down, so I hope you can hear me okay.
I want to hear Susan.
Is this regarding Tyler Van Dyke? Do you think this game, and I'm sorry if you were asked this already, but is this game different, do you think, because of what you know about this rivalry, his first game in Tallahassee, constant war chant, or do you expect him to stay as cool as he previously has been?
Tyler cool.
And the second part of that is, what
Tyler's
is the biggest area in which
Tyler
he needs
done let his
to
nuts
improve
drop.
on now?
I definitely think it's different. Because it's Miami, Florida State. And I think it would sound like great coach speak to say it's another game, but it's not. This is Miami, Florida State. And I've been really blessed to be here now. This will be my second game in this rivalry. I've coached in 6 Iron Bowls. And when you play in those type of games, there's just an electric atmosphere, especially on the road, that it's just different. A lot of these guys grew up playing against each other, recruited by both schools. So there's just a different level of intensity and urgency, and you feel it in pregame warmups. You just feel the difference. I felt it here last year before our game, and that was in a COVID year where there was hardly anybody in the stands. It's just there's a difference. So to say that this is just like any other game for Tyler or any of our guys would be just kind of coach speak. However, I do think now that he's got 5 straight league games under his belt, he's playing with a lot of confidence. He just got to go out and keep doing what he's doing. He doesn't have to be perfect. He's not going to be. Just keep playing with confidence. He's seeing everything really well right now. Keep giving guys opportunities and just distributing the ball. And he's done a really good job these last few weeks of bouncing back from either mistakes or misses, whether it be the interception last week at Pitt late, whether it be missing Rambo on the touchdown the other day late in the game that I think we ended up having to kick a field goal and we're still down 1. Little things like that. He's really hard on himself, but he's gotten really good at moving on. And so it's going to be critical in a game like this when the highs and lows, the ebbs and flows, the emotion and momentum are going to be probably higher than normal and felt more than normal, to just move on. When good things happen, move on. And when maybe the place is going crazy because nothing good happened for them, you got to move on. And, to me, him being, I think, a good example that gives you confidence he's going to do well was when the ball was basically touching our goal line and Pitt, and the place was going crazy with 4 minutes to go. And he stands in the back of his own end zone and delivers a strike to Rambo to help us win the game. I think those are things that give you and give him confidence that, he's growing up each week. In terms of what can he do to get better, I still think experience is the biggest thing. Like I said, on 2 of our short yardage issues the other day, one, he could have pulled the ball and ran. Another one, he could have pulled the ball and thrown to Will, and we'd have probably picked him up. And, those are situations, honestly, that we hadn't had yet. Short yardage situation, that kind of play call with the defensive look they gave. And, he's really improved over the last 3 or 4 weeks, throwing the ball away, not taking unnecessary sacks, not throwing the ball up into coverage. But he's still 2 or 3 times the other day kind of forced the issue with some throws that we got away with. And so I think continuing to do a good job of being aggressive, taking care of the ball, he's really improved playing in the pocket. And I think just, those are things that he's not perfect on every game. So I think the more and more he plays, I think the more consistent he'll be with those things.
Coach Lashley, thanks for spending a few minutes with us today, and good luck this week in practice.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate
Thank you.
Thanks.
Recording.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out how to put your question in question form.
No. You asked basically about if he could create Rashad Smith, give him some touches. He basically say Rashad need to learn the offense or whatever.
Streeter, that what he said?
He said, at the end, he said he's still a true freshman. So, just by him being talented don't mean he's just going to get on the field and get the ball. So,
Oh, that what he said?
yeah.
Right, and he was like, street man, niggas out here balling, fool. What you talking about? Basically, you know what I'm
He's saying, yeah, man, like I got Harley and Restrepo, like who I'm supposed to take out for him.
Yeah, I get it. Whatever, man. I get it. Right. Sometimes I try not to get caught up in the emotions of fans and the things that they want to see. Rashard runs like one play. And the question is, why? You know what I'm saying? You got to why we don't see more Romello? We see he can make plays. Why? I mean, because maybe they bringing him on. You know what I'm saying?
Man, speaking of Romello and George, man, the two passes that they both caught was beautiful. It like they caught them with their fingertips. It looked like George just snatched the ball and took.
Right.
I love watching Jacoby George catch the ball, man. That's that guy.
Who, Jacoby?
Yeah, but yeah, bringing them along. You got Harley, you got Rambo, and you got Keyshawn Smith. So basically, you at least have two positions open, available for next year, with Romello and George having game time experience. This year, somebody one of them will have to step up and take that place.
Right. Bro, listen, man, this stuff's starting to get interesting, man. But like I said, breaking news: Gurvan Hall and Brandon Jennings, basically, coach said they're not coming back.
Man, if you pay attention to Twitter, boy, Twitter is killing them. Oh my God,
killing who?
Gurvan Hall and
Brandon Jennings.
Yeah,
Twitter killing them.
Man, they saying it's about time and so long and
wow.
People retire 26 now and man,
retire 26.
Yeah, man. Our fan base is hard, but the Hurricanes fan base is hard.
Yeah, so they're out of there. Basically, Manny Diaz said something epic is about to happen in the transfer portal this year, and it sounded like he was talking about Miami. You feel what I'm saying?
I don't think he was talking about Miami, though. I think he's talking about a lot of, because what's happening is you're starting to see a lot of players leaving now early. The season ain't even over. It's 3 or 4 games left. Then you got conference championship week, and then you got bowl month, and players are leaving. They like, man, I'm ready to go now. So what you're seeing is what's going to happen is now a lot of teams that had that high number of recruits that's committed.
Yeah.
That might start falling because schools might say, hey, well, such and such just left such and such. Let's go after him instead of taking this high school kid now.
Look at this comment, man. These dudes dumb, man. These dudes are crazy, man.
I don't know if you heard paid attention to what T-Rock said about Tay Williams and Cam.
What he said?
When he was talking about Tay, he was like, man, Tay is extremely fast, physical. He's trying to create something in his head where he could have all 3 of them on the field at the same time. They were on the field, all 3 of them was together on the field for 27 snaps.
They know what it is. You know what it is. I mean, one less linebacker.
Well, what he said was when Tay comes in, they end up moving James closer to the box, and that's when you'll see James blitzing. Because remember, we seen James blitz quite a few times last week, so that's basically what he's saying. But I think he's saying he's trying to create something where they can just be all at maybe playing safety, not the fact that James go up to linebacker, but he feels a safety. Having all 3 at the same time. So, I mean, it's if you didn't know anything about defense, it's exciting to have them type of three players. Because you got Cam, you got Tay, and you got James. That's like, man.
Well, what it look like? Like base? Somebody said like base.
I guess you could say it almost go into like maybe the old school dime You know, when you got what, 6 DBs out there?
Yeah.
And then you just have one linebacker, something like that.
Who can cover? Do we lose anything in coverage though?
I think you have Tay and Cam covering and let James roll.
But what if they go 5 wide receivers on us, 4 wide receivers on us? We in trouble, aren't we?
Tay is fast enough, and he has the ability to cover one-on-one.
You want like
Tay fast enough to cover. Tay is fast enough to cover a receiver. He has the ability to cover one.
He's super fast. But so you good with James, Cam, and Tay walking down covering 3 wide receivers?
Not James covering one-on-one. I mean, unless it's a tight end, or you know what I'm saying, running back out the backfield. But I would prefer Cam and Tay to cover one-on-one.
Somebody said, can't they put Williams as striker? Then what about the strikers? Gilbert Frierson played okay, didn't he?
Yeah, Gilbert Frierson playing okay, and everybody, y'all keep screaming, y'all want to put Chase Smith. It's like, who do y'all want on the field? Y'all want everybody on the field. Who do we not put on the field? It's the question.
They want everybody out there, dog.
Yeah, they want Chase Smith out there. They want Gilbert out there. They want Leonard. They want who do y'all not want on the field? Is the question.
Yeah, they want everybody out there, man.
Yeah,
I was looking at the depth chart on my phone, man. I was trying to see what was going. The first thing pop up on Instagram when you go in there, man. What's that going on? So listen, bro. A lot going on today, man. We hobbling. They say Florida State gonna be without 20 players this week.
Yeah, I heard something about the flu. The flu was going around up there. Right.
Chase Smith seemed to be chilling. I mean, he seemed to be okay.
I mean, he's trying to get developed into a linebacker because he knows he's not going to be a safety or striker. He's going to be.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
What it is. Yeah.
Man, you see how big that guy is. That guy big.
Yeah. All right, man. But listen, man, we've been on here an hour and 20 minutes, man. Before we get out of here, Wesley Bassett, the University of Miami, yes or no, big dog?
Yes.
All right. Y'all heard it here. My dog say yes.
Right, chill.
Gonna be what he said. What he said. All right, man. I'm gonna get up out of here. Appreciate you, bro.
Peace.
Yo. All right, man. My dog said what he said. You know what I'm saying? He said what he said. Wesley Bassett to Miami. Listen, bro. Manny Diaz just uttered the same thing that I've been saying. High school players, it's going to be tough for high school players to get into to college football. What's about to happen in the transfer portal across college football, it's about to be epic. I've been saying this for the last year now. The landscape of college football is going to change. Push you in the mind of overseas and kids playing basketball at 16, playing with the pros. Not saying that college football players are going to go to the pros. College football is about to be ran sort of like on a pro level. You got free agency. Kids can go out and get paid. It's going to be a speed bump to the NFL, and it's going to be a hell of a speed bump to the NFL. And I'm not sure how big it could get. But colleges are going to look to that transfer portal first. Those players are hungry. They've been through a process before. They want to play. And then they're going to look to high schools. Manny Diaz just said it. I've been saying it for a long time. Listen, man, shout out to Edge. Shout out to Synergy Suites, man. Go follow synergysuites.com. Go check her out at Instagram, Facebook. And shout out to Edge, man, the best tasting energy drink in the world. I ain't just saying that. Check it out, man. Go to liquorsplit.com and get you one. Listen, bro. Invest or die. I got the link in YouTube. You want to be a part of the squad. It's as cheap as it ever been, $35. Come see what we investing in, man. We making real money in there. I'm up 700%. 700% on Lucid EV cars. Biden just passed the deal. 500,000 basically charging stations across the U.S. are going to be put in. So that means EV cars finna blow up. I just gave y'all a gem. You know what I'm saying? EV cars. And when it's not just the cars. It's not just Tesla. It's the other companies that go with it. It's the charging ports. It's the people who make the charging ports. It's the people who make the equipment that go in the cars. All of that goes up at the same time. There's you say you just joined today, big dog. Listen, we in there eating, dog. Be patient. Learn the process. Download your Webull. We in there eating, you can too, man. But you gotta want it. You gotta want to make a change, big dog. You gotta want it for yourself. You understand? That's the best way I could put it. You have to want it for yourself. So, man, listen, man. On that note, dog. What the heck just happened? On that note, man, I gotta run up out of here, man. I'm D, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm out. Douche-lawn and all these cryptocurrencies. All right, so listen. I know you hear everybody saying Bitcoin, Shiba, Douche-lawn, and all these cryptocurrencies out here, and you don't really know what they're talking about. I'm here to tell you this. You don't have to know what they're talking about. Right now is a critical time in our economy where wealth is being exchanged, and you can put your money into something and get rich. It's the beginning of the internet again. It really is. You remember 1999 Y2K? We thought internet was going to end the world. The computers was going to stop and all that crazy mess. That's so funny. We didn't know what it was, but today we can't live without the internet. It's happening again, and it's called a blockchain, and you can invest in it right now. We make it easy for you to invest in it. Just come and copy what we do, and you can learn as we go. Come check us out, man. The IOD Squad, Invest or Die. We make it easy to invest. Come check us out. Shout out to y'all, man. I'm D, man. Epic day, epic stuff for Manny. I'm out. There's the link. I'm going to put it right there. Y'all want to be a part, dog. We make it look easy. Invest or Die. Brother Jay, bro, listen, man. Brother Jay, Rico, man. A couple of them dudes in there eating, dog. I'm telling you. I didn't have a chance. Too much going on this morning. I ain't have a chance. Carlos Alvarez, appreciate you comment, dog. Appreciate all y'all. I ain't have a chance to put nothing up. Too much going on today. Manny came in with the bombshells. But a couple of dudes in there eating, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. Somebody was up $1,000 this morning. You got Rico the closer. He being here. Dudes in there eating, man. And all you got to do is copy or just look around and take some of the information and apply it. We there to help you too, man. Sometimes it's good being in a community of people that are there to assist you with what's going on. If you got questions, simple things. We there to help you, dog. We do the homework. You just got to do your due diligence and make the trade. I'm D. I'm out.